Hey dudes, welcome back to another video. Since some of you guys requested it, we decided to do a video about how we budget our expenses living in Malta. So we made a really nice pie chart, you can have a look. So we split all of our expenses into different categories and we're going to talk about all of them. The biggest expense of living in Malta obviously is rent and your utility bills.
I guess we will do a little explanation. So instead of the regular numbers as we always share, we kind of decided to make them into percentage. At the end of every month we join our income, and then from that we pay our bills, and from that we also pay our day-to-day spending and whatnot, whatever is there to spend money on.
The first thing is, as I mentioned, it's rent, because that's the biggest expense that you will ever have in Malta. And we spend 29% of our money on just the rent, nothing else. We are kind of lucky because, first of all, we pay the rent, both of us together. So living alone and renting alone might be quite hard, especially if you want the whole apartment to yourself. So we're also in a nice position where we just live the two of us. We don't share the flat with no one else, so obviously that costs more.
Yeah, it's a normal thing here in Malta, the flat sharing. So if you're a young person moving from other country to here, you would find an apartment to split, let's say a 4-bedroom apartment, and you would just split with other 3 people. Since we're not that kind of people, we don't like living that. We just like our own personal space, let's put it that way.
Yeah,
that's why we decided to pay a little bit more, but we would have our own room.
Exactly, so always the choice is yours, and this was ours. So the next thing after you have your rent, you have to pay the utility bills and all the stuff like that. So usually the summertime is a bit cheaper because most expensive here is electricity. The water's quite cheap, but the electricity, especially in wintertime, because you have to heat the apartment, you have to heat the water, especially in our flat we don't have anything in gas, so all of our things are on electricity, so we have to spend more, and that is actually only 4%. It doesn't sound that much, but
it varies a little bit because in winter we spend a little bit more because of, like you said, we have the heater on and that consumes a lot of electricity. Also we have water heater. In summer it's not that big of a problem because you can wash your dishes with like somewhat cold dish water that pretty much comes from your tap, so you don't really need to heat that much. But in winter, no way you would want to wash your dishes in cold water.
4% of our spending goes to electricity and water bills. The next thing that we spend our money on is internet. So we have internet at home, and plus we both have internet on our phones on monthly basis. 2% of our money goes to internet.
And here we can say maybe that we're quite lucky and smart with our decision not to purchase anything on lease. Our mobile phones and our computers are fully paid off, so we never took any payments for them. And we don't pay the monthly phone bill, we only buy top up, and it's obviously impacts your money a lot because you only have to buy it once a month, and you know exactly how much you're gonna spend on it, so it's never a surprise when you receive like a huge bill. So that never happens to us.
And that also includes our internet on the phone, so the top up is on our phones. And because we don't have any loan payments on anything, you know, if something that we would like would require a loan payment, then clearly we can't afford it, so we don't buy anything like that.
Exactly. When we need to buy a new computer or a phone or whatever, we buy it once, we pay the full amount, and then we use it for a couple of years because we don't need to replace it as often because it's brand new. And if we take good care of it and don't smash it on the ground, I'm talking about phones, it lasts a long time, at least for us.
Yeah, exactly. And then if something like a phone or a computer, you know, it costs more, then we kind of plan in advance, and that at this point we'll need to spend more on things like that.
Exactly.
Now we can move on to our next expense.
Food.
So obviously you can't take this one out. Like whatever you're gonna do, you're gonna need to eat.
Since the food in Malta is quite expensive, we do take quite a big chunk of our money to food, and that's our third biggest expense. And that percentage-wise comes as
12%. We made quite a lot of videos about food expenses and things like that. Obviously, it takes more preparation because I think our food bill used to be a lot more than 12%.
clearly once you order out and go out to eat for takeout or whatever it is, it's never 12%. So we really spend our money as wisely as we can, and still we come to 12%. So
Yeah. If you just don't think about like how much food costs and you just buy whatever you want, you'll end up with quite a bigger bill than what
for
we do.
sure.
Okay. So this one we also budget in, and this is just random spending, and that is about another 2% that we allow ourselves to just you always have some random things. Sometimes you just want to treat yourself.
I guess what we mean by that really is when we want to go places like last weekend we went to Camino, we have to pay for the ferry tickets, or if we want to go to Valletta we have to pay for ferry tickets, or if we go to the thrift shop and if I need to get some fabrics or all kinds of little things that wouldn't like go from food money would go in that kind of category. What else? Maybe
Sometimes once in a while we go to Starbucks.
yeah, just like pick up a coffee or something. So that would be how much would percentage is that?
2%, like as we have seen from month to month and checking how much we spend on these other expenses, it never usually goes over the 2%.
Exactly, we don't spend that much on it.
Yeah. The next thing is transport to just anywhere, and to work, or trips around so we can make more videos and explore Malta.
Yeah, that's one fixed cost as well for us, because we usually reach the unlimited public transport usage, and that comes to
another 2%.
Another 2%.
So
for both of us,
yeah,
all these
including
bills, all these bills are for two people for 1 month. So I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't own a car.
That's a big one for us.
That's exactly that's why it's only 2%, because just having a car in Malta plus all the expenses that come with having the car, it just doesn't seem something that we need.
It doesn't make sense also, because I don't see how you necessarily need to go anywhere with car when you can take a bus. I worked at a lot of places on the island so far, and it just does not make sense to buy a car just to go to
exactly.
work. I think that's just excuse.
Plus, you kind of have to be a bit brave to drive around Malta. We've tried it, and it takes some guts to drive around here. So we just chose it's just not for us right now. And
it's easier to just hop in a bus.
Yeah.
And pay for your rides
and then you only need to spend 2% of your money.
Exactly.
So that's,
how good is that?
Yeah, that's good enough a deal for me not to own a car. Also, we wanted to mention that we don't have any subscription payments, so that's why we don't have expenses on that. So none of the Netflix, Spotify, or whatever you can think of.
We probably wouldn't even own a TV unless our landlord wouldn't be like, hey, you need to change your TV, because that happened this spring. They were like, hey, you have really old TV, we probably need to change it. We're like, we never even turned it on. But he was like, yeah, you need to change it, and then next day they come bring this brand new TV.
Exactly. It's a really nice TV, but I would say 99.99% of the time it's turned off, because
I think we're the YouTube kind of people. We watch documentaries on YouTube, and then if we want to watch movies or whatever, we just get them on our computers. There's no
like probably a small fee to pay anyways, but we just don't need it.
We don't need it.
We don't need it.
Exactly.
So is there anything else that we...
Yes, there was another thing, but that kind of goes along with the food bill, was that we never purchase lunch for ourselves.
Exactly.
We always take lunch with us, and we always make something at home, even if it's like just a sandwich or something. We always drink water for lunch, and we never
Yeah.
buy any
We have our
juices or whatever like that.
yeah,
So
we have our reusable bottles, so
our
there's
lunch bill is zero.
exactly. So we never order food at work with the rest of the colleagues because you always have your excuse. Well, I have my sandwich and I'm gonna eat my goddamn sandwich.
And I want my money to work for me, not for my sandwich. Goddamn.
Exactly. Especially if you do it like casually all the time for no reason. You just order food at work.
Yeah, your cheapest lunch would be 8 to 10 euros, and that's expensive. That's
Yeah.
not cheap lunch.
I might as well just
My cheap lunch is zero.
zero. Just
Zero kind of lunch.
sandwiches
is my
or leftover
Dinner.
dinners. You have your box and you eat that. So we don't spend money on that either.
lunch. We never spend money on lunch. That's
Never.
our
Yeah.
golden tip.
Exactly. Like it also doesn't seem like something big. You know, your slide just like a couple of bucks here, a couple of bucks there. But listen, we've been where we ordered a lot of food before, especially last year.
Exactly.
Yeah, we thought it's just a couple of bucks. It's nice that people bring you food to home. You don't have to cook.
It's not really worth it because once you're done with your meal and once you pick up the order, then you realize, oh right, this wasn't even that great, and then it's just like you already wasted like 20 euros on it, and
Yeah.
then just like, well, it was whatever, but then again, you could have cooked something for yourself even better. Than
Plus,
what they
yeah,
bring
I
you.
wanted to say we do cook quite well, so it doesn't seem like we need to.
Exactly, we know how to cook for ourselves.
Yeah. So
anything else on the pie chart? I think we're covering all.
we also don't have any hobbies that would cost money.
Exactly. Our hobbies in summer is go swimming, and in winter is go hiking.
Yeah, and hike around Malta usually is already included in our food bill and our public transport bill because we just take the bus to the nicest place around and
Exactly.
hike around. And we also prepare our lunch for that place and bring our water. So
Even if we want to bring lunch, we always take pasticci that's like 40 cents.
yeah,
So-
like you can budget that in.
It doesn't really count. I think that really goes into our food money.
Mhm. Yeah.
and
So even our hobbies don't cost us anything much. And
yeah, we don't spend money on that because
Yeah.
everything is kind of free in here. Anything that we would like to do, I mean.
making videos is another hobby for me, but I already have everything, so I don't buy newest things just because.
Exactly.
Just because. So I have my computer, I have my camera. What else do I need?
Just a guy who edits all that.
Exactly. But
So-
like that expense goes on me. Okay, so we can talk about our biggest possible expense.
Oh yes.
Okay, so
You're probably wondering where goes the other 50% of our income.
48%. Yeah, we haven't mentioned that. So that's our biggest expense that we have to budget in every month.
Yeah, we just do it.
We just do it like that is always set and you can't do anything about it. And the biggest expense that we do have is our savings.
We save a lot.
So we save usually 48% of our salary.
Take home pay.
Yeah. So after everything is paid, after everything is budgeted in.
We have literally 50% of our income. So
Yeah. So yes, we are kind of proud of it.
We're bragging, but
Yeah.
it's a good brag, so maybe it motivates you as well. Maybe you
Exactly.
don't need all the crap in the world.
Yeah, like obviously I also want to say that it's not like it just happened. We decided, okay, this is how we're gonna live from now on, but we did it gradually. So we started these challenges and checking how much expenses we go on foods, and we started like writing everything down. And we used to save, I think, only half of it before. And
Yeah, we actually discovered a very great system that works for us. Before we didn't do well. We did pay our payments together, like split the for the rent or whatever. Yeah, the payments. And then we kind of decided that we're gonna take both our salaries, put them into one salary, and from that one big chunk of money, we would take out everything that needs to be paid, and everything else that doesn't need to be paid for anything would go to our savings. And that actually made a big difference, because before we were like, well, this is the amount we would like to put in savings, but now the amount is larger because we don't have a set number. We just
Yeah.
everything that's leftovers from whatever we need to pay goes to savings and
Exactly. Even a year ago or something like that, I did not think that's possible. I just didn't think about it. I thought, well, obviously I'll save some money, set some money aside, not like, 48-50% of our income to be
Exactly.
just in savings for something bigger.
yeah,
Yeah.
something bigger.
Something bigger.
It's coming up.
Coming up very soon. Okay, I think this pretty much covers all of our expenses, right?
Yeah, and maybe if you have something you know about saving, or share your experience how you deal with money, and let us know, because we would like to know as well. Maybe you have some useful tips that you use to save more.
Yeah, for us and for anybody who's watching this, probably if someone's watching this, they're also interested in,
Exactly.
yeah. So leave your comments and your ideas. Let us know what you think about the way we spend our money. Plus, also, if you live in Malta, how you budget your monies, and do you agree with us or not? And yeah, you could leave a like if you like this video and you found it any useful. Subscribe to this channel, because
Why not?
why not?
We're 6,000 already.
Yeah, we'll make more similar videos and keep giving good tips if we have any.
Yeah, we're gonna give our best experiences, share them with you.
Yeah, so this is pretty much the end of the video. So we'll see you in the next one, and bye.